Hey everyone. Good to see you guys tonight, even though I can't see any of your faces. Wait till we get a couple more people jumping on. Hey, Alondra.
Carving pumpkins tonight.
Okay, we're going to wait a couple more minutes and then we'll get started. I'm just going to pull up a couple more things in my back office. Okay, let's see. So maybe we'll wait one more minute. I know a couple other people said they were going to jump on. If you guys have any questions specifically, you can write them in the comments. It's a little tricky to do back office training when I don't want to show my entire back office just because that sometimes causes drama or, I don't know, issues with people or something like that. So I can show some stuff, but I can't show everything. But if you guys want me to pull up some of your teams, and if you have specific questions on your teams and you're like, oh, I don't care if people look at my teams, you know, they don't know anybody anyway. Just remember, if we do post this to the group, if you talk about your teammates, that they're on here in any kind of way, if you're saying certain things about them, it is going to be recorded, and then everyone can watch it. So if we're talking about people, maybe name them different things or do hypotheticals, or if you think they would potentially, you know, it would hurt their feelings the way you're saying certain things, then you'd want to ask your gold upliner above after the call. You can just write down your questions yourself. If things pop up in your head, you're like, oh man, I really had this question. You know, my builder isn't doing anything, so what should I say? I don't want you to say your builder's name on the call. You know what I mean? Or things like that. So some of those kind of questions are more on a person by person basis that you need to do with your upline leader. But, you know, if you're just beginning and, you know, you have no major builders or things like that, or nothing's a bad situation with builder and you're just asking placement questions and strategy, that's 100% fine. We can look up your team on my back office, and then we can go over stuff like that too. So that's fine if you guys want me to go over that, and I can totally pull that up. It does give a lot better visual if we can look at someone's graphic tree. So if anybody does want me to do that, it totally helps visually to talk about some of the stuff. Some of us leaders in Doterra had recommended, oh, if Doterra could make a fake website account that we could log in and then look at someone's back office, that would be really helpful if you could go through different scenarios and stuff like that. But so far that hasn't come to fruition. But that would be a great thing for training in a sense, because we would be able to look at something and go through it. But I always talk about, start off these conversations with what ranks are, how we're going to build, basically to premiere is the number one thing. So a lot of you, if you've been on here, you know, have probably heard this before. It's good to solidify it so that you can teach it to someone else. There's always new stuff to be learned. I learn stuff all the time that's new. I mean, when I was hitting platinum and diamond, there was lots I didn't know. The thing with it is with placements and exceptions and all these kind of things, a lot of it isn't written down. Doterra does do that specifically because they do a lot of these things for our company, but a lot of companies don't give exceptions. So like, say if you wanted to move someone around on your tree, you couldn't petition exception. Once that happens, it happens. They're very generous in letting us do those kind of things, but they don't have any hard and fast rules, because on those kind of things, it's very tricky, and they make a decision, and that's the decision. And so there isn't a rule book manual. So a lot of times when I'm going to do something, I still have to check with my rep. And so when you're starting to do stuff, you'll check with your upline, ask them questions. They might need to check with their upline. Once you hit the rank of silver, you actually get an account manager, which is really, really helpful. I like probably asked my account manager 50,000 questions when I was a silver, because I wanted to learn everything and anything. So she probably was so glad when I got to platinum, because it was a silver and gold manager. And when I got to platinum, she's like, praise the Lord, she hit platinum. But that was me. I cried on the phone with her. I had lots of different conversations with her. So there was a lot to be learned. And I had a lot of misconceptions about placements early on. And I did make a lot of mistakes. So just know that if you feel like, oh crap, I've made so many mistakes, I'm Blue Diamond, and I've made a lot of mistakes on my placement. So anybody can hit any rank. No one's structure is perfect whatsoever. So do not get in your mind that there is a perfect structure, because with this business, it's all people. And people act differently all the time. So you really can't guess anything. You can't, nothing's concrete. There's never a for sure answer. So when I'm giving people advice on stuff, hey, Darvin. Okay. When people ask me something, I always give them what my suggestion or my advice would be, but that's just my advice. And at one point, they're going to have to make the decision, and they're going to have to be okay with it, right? No matter if it turns out one way they want it or another. So we can go a little bit in depth at the end too about the really nitty gritty. If you guys want to talk about like swaps, exceptions, buying people out of spots, like all those kind of things. If you're just beginning, you might want to check out at that end if you're fried out of your brain at the beginning part of the call. But if you want to hear it, you're totally welcome to. But if you have been at it a little bit longer, or your brain isn't fried midway, then you can stick on and we can ask like more crazy questions, because there's a lot of questions. And like I said, I learn stuff all the time. So basically when we start with placements and strategy, I always tell people, build your team as if you're going to hit Premier. And I want to show you visually why I'm going to do that. So I'm going to share my screen. So when you want to build to Premier, let's see what this looks like. This is why. Because if you build to Silver, you can hit, wait, let's see. Okay. So here's gold. This is why I want you to build the gold. Let's backtrack and visualize what silver is first so you can see why I don't want you to build the silver. So silver is right here, okay? So when we look at the ranks, you start with manager. Now it says 500 OV. OV means overall volume. PV means personal volume. So this is your overall organizational volume, no matter who's underneath you, if there's somebody else's enrollment, if they're your enrollment, as long as they're underneath you, that's your volume plus their volume combined. So to hit manager, all you have to do is with your order plus the orders underneath you, get 500 in sales in a month, then your manager. Then the next month, if you hit 1,000 OV, you've hit director, okay? Now, there's no bonuses whatsoever for hitting any of these beginning ranks. So if you're going and trying to hit them, awesome. It's a mental milestone. You do not get anything bonus for hitting these. I'm just throwing it out there. Once you get down here, you can see under here it says pays level 1 to 3. When we talk about all the levels you get paid off of, that's going to be important. Most likely, if you're a director, you don't even have 3 levels yet. You probably only have maybe 1 to 2 levels at the most. But we'll show you what the levels look like, and you'll get paid on 3 levels, okay? But you can see when you get down here to silver, pays 7 levels. That means you get paid the full amount. So once you hit the rank of silver, you'll get all the commission you possibly can on unilevel. But at the beginning ranks, you get paid, 3 levels, 4 levels, 5 levels, 6 levels, and then by silver, you get 7 levels. When you get the next rank, they all stay at 7. That's the highest it goes. It's paid on 7 levels of income for your unilevel. Now here, this person, executive, again, they don't get a bonus for hitting an executive, but this person has 2,000 overall volume, and you can look now to go to elite. What do you need? you only need 3,000 in volume, right? Now the volume can come from anywhere, right? There's no legs underneath this person that they specify. It doesn't say, okay, 1,000 needs to come under one leg and 2,000 needs to come under another. It's just your volume could be anywhere and everywhere. That means if you structured poorly, your elite leg would look like this. All your people would be on your front level. Now, why would that be a bad idea if they were all on level 1 and you didn't stagger any down? It would matter because when you try to hit Premier, you are fully screwed. And I've sadly seen this happen to a couple people before when I got back into doing the business. And I had someone that was a Premier, and that was an elite and always would be an elite, but she had Premier volume a lot of times. But guess what? Almost all of her volume was across her entire front leg. Now she got her $50 bonus, but that doesn't really matter that much when you're trying to rank advance, right? So she had 1 million people up on her front level because no one told her when she signed up people, she had 14 days and she needed to structure them appropriately to hit other ranks, right? She needed to create legs. And the reason why they create legs is to benefit other people in your business. They're teaching you how to build a team instead of selfishly, in a sense. You know, it's not really selfishly because you get paid the least amount of them when they're on the top. But say in other businesses, like I think Beauty Counter, you get paid the most if you're on your top level. Maybe I'm wrong. But in some other MLMs, if you keep all your people at the top, you get paid more, right? Well, Doterra wants you to share it. So the further down you put them, the higher percentage you get off of their monthly orders, right? We'll talk about that more in a second. So by teaching you to build a leg, it's taught you to help other builders grow their business. It's also helped you get your power of three bonus, because now you're structuring, right? That means you have people on your first level, you have people on your second level. That's going to help you get your 250 bonus. So they teach it this way for many reasons. But you can see if you taught everyone to build to elite, you could hit diamond. But if you ever tried to hit blue diamond, you would be 1,000% screwed, because look at this. If you taught everyone just get to elite, it doesn't matter if you have volume anywhere, you just need to get to elite, okay? So say a silver person built 3 elite legs. What does it take to get to diamond? Let's click over real quick. What's diamond? Diamond is 3 silvers. See how all of it is elite? Elite, elite, elite. So diamond, in your mind, you might think, oh my gosh, I'll never hit diamond. If you could just find 12 people that you can help hit elite, you've hit diamond, right? Or I guess not 12, because you had to count these people too. Actually that's false. So you don't have to, because you'd be clicking it. So if you found 12 people that could be elite and you housed them correctly under your 4 people, you would hit diamond, right? But if you tried to hit blue diamond and you structured it poorly, look at all these legs that you need to have strategically placed for you to hit. So instead of these builders that were elites, instead of them being elite, they need to be premier to hit blue diamond. That means each one of those people need to have 2 legs with 2,000 volume under each leg. So for me to hit blue diamond, it's like a jigsaw puzzle every single month, right? Because I have to have my volume very strategically placed in order to hit blue diamond. Because look, I could have one of my leaders over here platinum, another one over here solid gold. If this one over here is premier, I don't hit blue diamond, right? I've got to make sure I've got it structured perfectly. Or what if in this leg, this premier leg, it has 1 builder, but not a second builder? What if this person has a 5,000 volume under them, but I don't have a second leg started? I won't hit blue diamond. I have to have it done specifically. So when I'm teaching you to build a premier, that's because to hit blue diamond and presidential diamond, oh, they didn't even have a slide for presidential that I put up. To hit blue diamond or presidential diamond, you have to have legs set up. So I don't want you to get to diamond one day, which if you follow Lisa Zimmer, she's the one that came up with all those class make and takes that we sort of follow. On her Facebook page, she talks about her sob story, because it is something to sob about a little bit, of how she hit diamond and then she realized she was so far away from hitting blue diamond because she built her team for the $1,500 bonus, meaning she put all of her people staggered on all of these rows with no structure whatsoever. So instead of giving this person right here 2 legs, what did she do? She put all the people straight in a line to make sure she'd hit her $1,500 bonus. Because in her mind, if she could make $1,500 a month, that would be the greatest thing in the world. It would pay her mortgage. So instead of thinking, I need a structure for a blue diamond to get 2 legs, she was just like, what the heck? I'm just going to put everybody on this 3rd level right here, right? And then I'll for sure hit my $1,500 bonus because I'm going to have so many people that could be a chance of ordering on the LRP. I'm going to get my $1,500 bonus. Does this make sense at all? So to hit your $50 bonus, what do you need? 3 people, right? 3 people that do 50. To get these people to get their $50 bonus, you need 3 people, right? Now for you to get your $1,500 bonus, these 3 people need 3 people each. So in her mind, she just put all of her people on this level, and she did not structure it for blue diamond. And if she had, she would have structured it like this. Not all the people would have gone on this level. She would have done a couple people on this level, and then she would have housed them all on this level. Does that make sense? Because then you have your structure like that. And so we want to structure you for blue diamond. And so when we go back to looking at Premier, anytime you have a spot, if you can, ideally, you want to help structure that person for Premier. So when you have a new builder or yourself as a new builder, you want to think, I want to start off with 1 leg. Forget about your $50 bonus. I know that's life-changing for some people in the beginning, but if you can, just forget about it for the first year. You'll get it in the first year most likely, but just forget about it. It's not that much money. You can sell a kit or 2, and that's your $50 bonus. You'd much rather structure appropriately to make the maximum amount of money than get your $50 bonus, right? So when you hit Premier, you need to get 1 leg right here, and then you need to house people under it. Now, ideally, when your leg's right here, say this is Molly, your best friend, it would be great if Molly could get a ghost leg or a builder, and then you start putting volume under Molly's ghost leg. If you just started putting all of your volume under here in the beginning, sometimes that's what you have to do. I get that. We all don't have a million people that would be a ghost leg, and we don't have builders right away. So you have to do that. And sometimes you can upgrade and move them later, which we'll talk about, or you can do an exception. There's lots of strategies for moving people around down the road. But ideally, we're talking about in the ideal world, if you could, at least for your first 2 levels of builders, you would want them to get it structured appropriately, if you could. So this person is Molly. Molly would get her best friend Sally, right? And Sally would be the leg that you'd really put a lot of people under. Now, if it's not structured perfectly at that level, well, you can't structure every leg perfect, but at least you've structured it to where you could hit blue diamond. Does that make sense? And you've structured it to where you could get your bonus well for the $1,500 and all of that kind of stuff. And you helped your builder up here structure good as well. So you structured your main builders. Now, of course, this main builder, Molly, will want to help her builder and structure them appropriately, but you can't take that burden on yourself to structure everyone appropriately, because that's going to be a lot of ghost legs once you start building a team. A ghost leg is someone that you put into a spot that signs up as a wellness advocate. Not a customer. They sign up as a wellness advocate. They don't have to order monthly if you're not going to if you're not going to hit that rank. If you want to hit the rank, they do have to actually place the 100 PV volume order on the LRP for you to hit Premier. You have to have an order here and you have to order here. But if you're just trying to structure while you're just beginning and you're not even close to 5,000 in volume, you can get like Grandpa to be your ghost leg right here. Grandpa can sign up with this $35 membership. He doesn't even have to order at all, ever, right? And then you just can structure Grandpa appropriately. Then when you find someone who wants to do the business with you, you put in what's called an exception form. And the exception form you can do on your back office, which I guess I'll just show you real quick right now. You can do this on your back office if you go to Team. It's probably going to make me sign in again. Oh, it won't. Okay. If you go to Team, if it's a new person, brand new person that's going into Grandpa's spot, they have to upgrade and you have to fill out this form on the same day within 24 hours. This is very key. So when you have someone that you want to go into your ghost leg spot, don't do anything until you talk to your upline leader so they can help you do it appropriately, because you're going to be super bummed if you do it wrong. They do not make exceptions. If you screw it up, you screwed up, and after 24 hours, they most likely won't give you one. So if grandpa is there and then you sign up your best friend that wants to do it, your best friend signs up and you go to what says placements right here. And then you go in and grandpa is going to sign into his account and go account transfer. Grandpa is going to fill out an account transfer form. And grandpa's info would be in here right here. Right now it's my info, but if you're on grandpa's account, his would. Then you would put in your best friend's new info that she just signed up, right? So you put in her ID number and her name. And then grandpa chooses, does he want to keep his wholesale account or no? Does he want to terminate it? That's totally up to you, right? And then you submit it. Then your best friend will get a notice that she needs to go and sign something on her back office in the same thing under except under the placements, right? So you need to have your best friend sign off within the 24 hours too, and you need to make sure your best friend is on the same level as grandpa. So let's go back to this because this always confused me. So if grandpa is your person right here and you signed up your best friend, well, she'll automatically sign up and she's always on your front line, right? That's just how it goes. When you sign up someone, they start off in your front line unless you choose to move them somewhere different. But say grandpa was right here and you wanted to, if you wanted to get grandpa out of that spot and your best friend signed up and she's right here, you as the enroller of your best friend need to move her right next to grandpa. That means she needs to get moved underneath this builder. So they're on the same level when you go to do this form. Again, I'm only touching on this because this is like the extra confusing part. Your gold upline or above leader will go over this with you, but that's just a little bit of a nutshell. So you can do an exception. You can kick your ghost leg out and you can put someone in. If the person isn't new, and say you have someone that's been a customer of yours for 3 months or more, it has to be 3 months or more, and they love the oils and they want to do the business, you can have them upgrade and you can move them into grandpa's spot too. So you can have a new person come in and go into grandpa's spot, or you can have a current customer that's over 90 days upgrade and go into grandpa's spot. So that is a lot of great opportunity to get people moved out of a spot that maybe you had a friend that thought, and everyone has this, I'm going to be a great builder. And you're like, I know my best friend's going to be a great builder. And you realize, my best friend sucks at building. This is getting between our friendship. I do not want to do this. She doesn't want to do this. For our friendship, she needs to come out and she's totally fine with that. Your friend can come out of that. What if your friend was up here? You'd be getting her out of that. Even if you didn't think she was ever a ghost lady, you thought she was going to be your true builder. Well, if you put a lot of effort and you structured her appropriately and you did the business under her and all of that, you might want to say to your best friend, you know what? This is really something I'm doing full time. I really want to go, and I know it's just not the perfect fit. And I tell people, I never want someone to do this if it's not their perfect fit. I hate that. I never want to pressure someone, all that kind of stuff. Do you mind if we just put you in a customer spot instead of like a builder spot? Because that's more for someone who, wants to do the business like on a daily basis, doing classes on a weekly basis, all of those kind of things, coming to, events and all that. And it just doesn't seem like that's in your season, which is totally fine. But do you mind if we put you in a customer spot? If they get moved into a customer spot, they can keep their LRP, they can keep their account, and they'll just stay on whatever front line you had them on. So if they were on this level, they'd stay on this front line. If they were down here, they'd stay on that front line. And they can still order. They don't lose anything like that, okay? But yes, so that is an opportunity to move someone out of a spot. You can do it 2 different ways. Now, if you have someone that previously did doTERRA as a business and they come to you and is like, I did it, I had a team, but I want to come over to your team, they cannot go into a spot if they've signed more than maybe like 2 or 3 people up, because they do not want any active person transferring from one team to another. Now, they can reactivate under you and start doing the business, but don't think, oh, I'm going to put you in a spot right here because you said you want to do the business, and this is great, I'll kick you out. Most likely that won't work. Now, occasionally it does, but you would not want to promise this person that would work. You can put in an exception to see if that would, and they would allow the transfer if it looks like they really hadn't done the business too much in the past, but it's definitely not guaranteed. So that's not something you'd want to promise somebody. So any questions so far about anything that I've talked about that I can answer before we move on? And I'll be talking more about it, but just any questions so far? I'm not confusing too many people. Okay, let's go back then. I'm shocked. Okay, So if we structure for Premier, that means we need 1 leg and then 2 legs. And then 2 plus 2 is 4. That's 4,000 in volume. But what do you need? You need an overall volume of 5,000. So your other 1,000 can come from anybody. Now, maybe this leg has 3,000. Maybe you have a couple random people on your front line. That's totally fine. They can help towards the 5,000. But after Premier, if you have any random people on your front line, you don't really want them up there because they're not going to help you hit your rank. When you go to Silver, if you have random people up on your front line, they won't help you hit Silver. That volume doesn't do anything for you. So you would try to see if you could put in an exception form, or you could ask them to upgrade. Now, I've done that for people. What I've said to customers is, and you have to have a good relationship with the person. Sometimes I've done it to people that I don't even know that much that have signed up online with me, but hopefully they like me enough from Instagram. So I say, you know what? I'm so glad you're loving your oils. I'm actually doing like a promo this month. A couple people I sort of structured wrong on my team when they first signed up, and it would benefit me so much and help me so much with my team structure if I was able to move. And that sort of is you as well. And I've given some of those people that have been able to help me move $50 in free oils of their choice. It's super easy. All you do is have to put your social security number in there because it's giving you the option of doing the business. And when someone chooses that, I'm allowed to move them one more time. But you absolutely don't have to do the business. It's just a simple upgrade. They're not able to move you. It doesn't change anything about your account. You don't have to order monthly, nothing at all. I'm just allowed to move you one more time. And if that's something that you'd want, I'd love to give you more info on it. Now, some people never write me back, and I've had at least probably 8 people do it. So I have an exact email copy and pasted, and it's worked well. I've had other people use it, and it's worked too. So if you're trying to move people, which sometimes when you're trying to hit a rank and they're all over randomly, you do try to do that because that's what I did. Then you can strategically move people easily if they upgrade. You can move them within 1 day. It's a really quick thing to do. They just upgrade, and then you have one more move on your back office, and that's a great way to restructure your team. You can put in an exception form. An exception form is basically when you have a really good reason and you don't want to put in a million of these of why someone on your team would benefit. So here's an example from you. So say your best friend's up here. She's not doing it that much, but she's doing it a little bit. And then you have your other friend right here. And they're really close friends. They go to church together. They have all the same circle of friends. And you say, oh my gosh, Mary would be doing so much better if Mary and Sally could do the business together. They would just flourish, right? And then you could say something like this to Doterra. Mary and Sally have been friends forever. I shouldn't have put them up there on separate legs. I really regret that, and I think they would be much better as a team, and they agree as well. If we could move Mary under Sally, it would be overall better for both of them, and they could do the business together and support each other since they're in the same circle of friends. Doterra might say yes. They'll only say yes to that kind of stuff if it's under 900 volume. It used to be 1,000. I think they changed it to 900. If a person is over 900, don't even try it. They're going to say no. If you move that person and it helps solidify like a $250 bonus or a $50 bonus for you, they're going to say no. If you move that person in that month, that will help you hit a new rank. They will say no. So do not try to put in any exception forms without having your gold up line or above. Look at that to make sure when you're putting them in, none of those kind of things are going to happen, because you might want to say wait till the next month. Maybe it'll help you hit Premier. But really, you can hit Premier by yourself. You need to hit Premier first and then put in your exception form, because then Doterra will be like, oh, they already hit Premier. Now we can try to do it, right? Or say if your aunt's up here and your mom's right here, then you could say for family, they really do that a lot. They'll say, oh yeah, they're family. They want to work together, yada, yada. I wish I would have kept family on my save line. Then you can do that. So there's ways to move people. When you put in an exception form, Doterra votes on it, and they have a committee 2 times a month, on the 15th and on the 30th. If you want it voted on at the 15th, you have to get it in before the 1st of the month. If you want it voted on the 30th, you have to get it in before the 15th of the month. And then they'll let you know in your back office if it's denied or not. You put in the petition the exact same way you did the transfer. You just go over to your team and you go over to placements. And then you go to exceptions instead of account transfer, and you do submit in one. And they have all of their rules down here on what they'll approve it for and what they won't. So you put it in here, and then basically you're saying like, I want to move this person to this person. And see, it says exceptions should be rare and cannot affect power of 3 or rank qualifications. And you put your reason for request, and then you submit it. And then basically when you submit it, it's going to send that to get signed off by the 7 levels of people above you. If one person doesn't sign off on it, it won't go to them. So you have to let the people above you know, I sent you one. Now they'll get notified by Doterra, but sometimes people are lame and they don't sign it right away, so you might need to remind them or something like that. So these are all ways that you can structure your team a little bit different. You can get people to upgrade to a wellness account, wellness advocate account. You can move them same day. That's the easiest one. Or you could put in an exception form. That's another way to do it. It's a lot trickier and you have to wait a lot of time, but you can do it that way too. And then you can transfer people in and out. Okay, so when we're at Premier, does everyone understand how you hit Premier? You're up here, you have to have a 100 PV order, this person has to have a 100 PV order, this person, and then under each of these legs has to be 2,000, 2,000, and the extra 1,000 can come from anywhere, okay? Then when we go to hit gold, here we are at gold. What's gold? 3 premiers, right? So it's easier when you think of people growing your business as premiers because you're like, oh, that's really easy. And then what do you do to get to platinum? Super simple. You just need to add 1 elite person to each of these legs, and then all your executive people just need to go up to elite. So you can see how if you actually have real builders, it's not that hard to rank advanced. Now, if you don't have any builders and you're doing this all of yourself, or you're doing a majority of it, it's a lot harder because that's a lot of volume for you to produce in 1 month, right? But if each person only has to get 1,000 more in volume, that's not that hard. And then you need to have help each of your builders get 1 new builder. So you can sort of see how when you break it down on, okay, I just need to focus on getting 3 new builders and helping these existing builders do a little bit more, right? Or help them get their first builder, and that would be their 1,000 extra that month. That's how you're going to go from gold to platinum. Now, I'm not making it easy sounding, it's a lot of work, but I'm saying it's easier because sometimes to people, they're like, oh my gosh, this is so daunting, I could never go past gold. And you're like, well, of course you could. If you have legitimate builders, what's stopping your builders down here from wanting to stop at executive? Of course they want to go to elite, right? You're just helping other people reach their goals. That's what you're doing with this business. So I'm not trying to help them hit their goals for them. I've done that before, and I've hit people's goals for them, and then I regret it later on. Now, sometimes you have to do that for you to hit your own rank, and that's just your choice, but you don't want to build out someone over and over again. I know I've said this on other calls, but let's just say that, it's easier to give birth to new life than resurrect the dead. So I'm going to give an example. So when I would go for gold, and this was a big rank for me, I had some person right up here that they already had 2 solid elite legs, right? Or they had 1 solid elite leg. It had tons and tons of volume under it. And this one was really, really close, right? So even though this person right here wasn't doing the business, I was like, I'm sticking with them. So what did I do when I wanted to hit platinum? I built them out an entire nether leg myself, and I did all the work. So then I got them to silver. Now, what happens when you get to silver, when we look at the pay scale? That's the highest level that you get paid on all 7 levels. That cost me a lot of money down the road. I'm just throwing it out there, okay? So you want to be careful when you're helping people build to ranks, because when someone hits Premier and Silver, they get paid on the 6th level and the 7th level. Those are the 2 highest paying levels when you have people ordering under you. That means any of the orders under there, there'll be someone that can get paid the 6% and the 7%. Instead of, if they were at elite, they'd be like, oh, you're not Premier, I can't pay you on this level, automatically comes up to me and I get paid off of it. Oh, can't pay you on this level, you're not silver, automatically comes up to me and I get paid on it. But instead, since I built that person to silver, she kept getting all that payments that really I should have gotten. Does that make sense? Because she really never did the work I did. I built her team out, but once I built it out, that's just what happened. And so you don't want to build out for people an entire team of silver. Now, elite's not the biggest deal. I've built people out to elite all the time, especially executive, because it helps me hit my goals, right? But when you're going for the bigger ones, you better know well that you tell that person, this is a business spot. If you don't do the business, I need you to come out of the spot. I'm building into the spot, and have that upfront conversation with them. And if they don't do the job, you need to have that conversation that they need to come out of the spot. Now, sometimes people will say, no, I'm not going to, and you can't force them to get out of that spot. But if you have an upright conversation and say, I'm willing to partner with you and really build a lot. And since I do sign up a good amount of people, I can do that with people sometimes when I want to hit a certain rank. And I have done it before, but then it's bit me in the butt, right? Like I've had builders in other countries and I built them all the way out to Premier, and then they never get back to me. And I'm like literally MIA. And then I had to build a whole entire new leg. That was really hard pill for me to swallow, right? I learned some lessons there. What could maybe I've done differently? Probably a lot of things, but sometimes when you want to hit a new rank, it's a little bit hard. So you have to make some decisions. They're not always the best, but you have to go with what, and it's all people. I mean, like I said, I thought it was I had qualified them in my mind, but clearly it changed, right? So stuff like that does happen. That's sort of structuring. So when you're thinking about it, you want to always structure to hit Premier so that you can hit gold, so that you can get past platinum. Once you're hitting platinum, all you have to do is build one more team. You need a silver with 3 elites, right? And then to hit blue diamond, you're just helping all your 4 silvers get to gold, and then you have to build one more gold person. So you can see how it sort of adds on each other. And then when you're looking at trying to hit your volume, now this is just the Build Success Guide for the lead one. It's on Doterra's website under Success. What is it? I'll show you in a second. Under Advocates and it's under the Success Guides. But this is how it is. And this is the gold one, right? Where it's how do you hit gold and platinum. And then if you go down here, it talks to you about how you can actually duplicate those people. And this is great. When I first started, I did this. I put, who my builders were, what their overall volume was normally. I can go and look in a back office and you can see where their volume is normally. What do I need to get for them to get to the next rank? So I put OV needed. How do I need to support them? How many classes do I need to get them to do? And then I would really write out people. Some people have big whiteboards in their room or chalkboards, and they literally have it marked out. I have one lady, for her $1,500 bonus, literally had her $1,500 bonus with names for each person, and she knew the holes that she needed to fill to get her $1,500 bonus. And then she strategically placed people in those spots depending on how she could hit that bonus. Oh wait, I feel like I have a thing. So this is something really good to do, is to map stuff out, to get it out on paper. For me personally, whenever I'm trying to hit a rank, like I just did this last night, I went through my entire team. I added up all the volume for all of my Premier legs. Because what is my thing for Blue Diamond? For me to hit Blue Diamond, I have to have 1 million Premiers. So I went through, and it's just like getting 1 Premier. With Blue Diamond, I got to get a lot of Premiers. So I went through and I calculated all of their volume, and I said, okay, how much more volume does Sally need? Okay, she needs 300. I need 300 more. Then under Elise, I need 100 more. And then I go through it and I map out exactly how much volume, and I actually put their name and the volume I need, right? And then I see, okay, well, I got them to 2. I got them to 2, but they're still not at 5,000 at the top. So I need overall volume from anywhere, right? And so I've got to map it out. And so this is what you need to do. Even if you're not if you're not close to Premier yet, map it out. When I tell people to build Premier, I first tell them to solidly build 1 leg if you can. When I help people build, I find that if I help them build for a season and I pour everything I can into that one person or that one team for a season, I see a lot of growth and they see a lot of growth. And then I can say, okay, now go do it on your own, and I'm going to help the next person. Whereas for me that has a lot of builders, if I help everyone just a tiny bit, nobody even notices I put any volume underneath them. They really don't, right? Because I could give them 500 volume or 200, and it might not have even helped them hit the rank that month, right? But if I would have taken all that volume and helped a new person hit a rank, or help someone solidify a rank or something like that, that would be a huge thing, right? And maybe those other people would have still hit all their ranks. So that's what I personally like to do, is I like coming alongside of someone, showing them that I'm really there for them, helping them a ton in a month or 3 months at a time, and really being there. And then I say, go and fly, and I move on to the next person. Not to say that I don't come back and help them again in different seasons, but instead of spreading it out, I like doing that. So sometimes in the beginning, you might think, oh, I have to hit Premier. I need a second leg. I need a second leg. If your first leg is not at 2,000 in volume, you really don't need a second leg yet. I personally would structure one leg really well and then move on to the next leg. That's just a better way of building. It's a foundation. It's like a structure, a foundationally, what I'm trying to say. It's a good foundation. I don't know. It's a good foundation. Structurally sound foundation. I think that's what I was trying to say. Whereas some people just throw volume all over the place. They don't have any builders. They haven't helped this one builder ever get a new builder. So this is what happens normally. Someone gets a builder, they put them at the top. They get a new builder, they're like, I'm going to put them at the top. That could be a decision, or it could be a bad decision. Now, if they were a rock star, yeah, you would want to leave them at the top if they're a rock star. If they're not, do not leave them at the top. Put them underneath your first builder. Help your first builder by giving them one builder. Now, maybe even help them by giving them a second builder. Don't give anybody 3 builders, okay? At the most, give them one builder. They need to at least come up with one builder themselves, right? Most of the time, you should only give them one builder, and they could come up with the others. But yeah, so giving someone a builder is a blessing. Now, I don't sign that builder over to them right away, right? If it's my enrollment, I put that person underneath that person. I keep enrollership of that person. That means on Fast Start, I get paid for that. Then when you get into higher ranks, if someone hits a certain rank, you get a bonus. Once you hit platinum or diamond, if you get a new silver, you get a $150 bonus for that person hitting silver. When you get to blue diamond, or when you get to diamond, what's that one? Forget the diamond one. You get something. Oh, when you hit diamond, if you get a new Premier, you get about $1,500 to $2,000 if it's your enrollment. Now, if you gave away all your people to other builders and they all started hitting Premier and it was too early for you to give them over, you would have missed out on a lot of bonuses. And I've done that, and sometimes that's fine. It helped that other builder hit their bonus, and I was fine with missing out on that bonus because it really helped them, and I knew I wasn't going to get that bonus for a while. But if I'm close to getting that bonus, this is just financially sound. You worked for it. It was your builder. Get your bonus off of that person first. So for me, if I have someone that I'm building, if I get someone to Premier nowadays, that's my enrollment, and I hit Blue Diamond that month, I get around $3,500 from getting a new Premier, because that shows Doterra that I'm actively building a new person to Premier. So I get a bonus for that. So I'm not going to give over enrollership of someone to another person until I get my bonus. Now, in the beginning, you don't get a bonus, and you're not going to get a bonus for a while. It's not the end of the world, but I wouldn't go over signing over people to anybody unless they really show that they can do the business consistently, that they actively show up to all the business meetings, that they're doing classes regularly, that they've gotten one of their own builders. They do not need you to sign over a builder to them unless they've gotten their own builder. Because what do they need to hit to where they would need to have enrollership of anybody? Premier. So if they haven't gotten one of their own builders yet, there's no reason you need to give your builder over to them unless it's time for them to hit Premier. Does that make sense to people or no? So if someone's going for Premier, I'll go back to this because sometimes visuals help a little bit. If someone's going for Premier and this person right here is your enrollment, okay? And this person right here is their enrollment, meaning this is their builder. This is your builder that you put under your builder. This is your builder right here. This isn't you. So here's your builder. They're going for Premier. They got one of their own builders, and this one's yours. You can sign over enrollership. Right now, this person is being sponsored by this person. That means they're underneath them. But you still hold enrollership. That means on Fast Start, when you get paid on Fast Start, who gets paid 10% in Fast Start? You do, because they're your enrollee. Once you give over enrollership to this person, you don't get 10% anymore. You get 5%. The other thing that happens is if you give enrollership over to this person and this person stops doing the business and this person goes for it, you don't have enrollership of them anymore. This person does. So you cannot rank advance off of them. Whereas if you have a person right here and you have a person right here and they're both enrolled to you, well, if this person doesn't do the business and this person does do the business, well, who cares? Go with this person and forget about this person, right? You don't need them to rank advance. You could go with Sally, who's just one level lower, and she could have her team at silver, and you could rank advance off of this person if you have the enrollership. If you don't, you cannot rank advance off of them. So do not give your enrollership to a person unless you really know they're going to do the business, or it's really going to help you hit that rank that you want to and you're fine with it. But you need to know the pros and cons. Now, if you give enrollership over to this person, doTERRA gives you one chance, and this person could give you back enrollership in an email. They're just really simple emails. All you do is send an email, say, I want to give enrollership over this person to that person, yada, yada. It's a placements@doterra.com. It's really easy. But you only have one time where this person can give it back to to you. So if it's taken up, you can't get it. Or they could deny it and say, no, you gave me that person. I'm not giving him back. I'm hitting Premier every single month. I want to keep hitting Premier and getting my bonus. I don't care. I like that this person's doing a lot of stuff. I get a lot of money from them. So you have to be careful who you sign your people over, because once you sign them over, you don't know if you'll ever get them back. So just because you're like, oh man, I could have hit my rank. I should have, if I signed this person over to here. Well, if this person eventually is going to be way better, I would say hold off on hitting your rank and wait and make this person get her own other person to hit Premier. There's no rule that says you have to sign someone over to help that person hit Premier. This is your business, and you need to keep enrollership of people to safeguard your business. So that is a little bit about giving over enrollership. Once you give it over, you can get it back once if that person gives it back, but you can't ever give it to another person, nothing like that. Let me see if anybody had a question. Okay, no one did so far. Now, when we're rank advancing, you can only rank off of, let me see if I can get a better visual for this one. Let's see. When you're trying to rank advance, and a lot of people didn't know this. Okay, so forget about that these are premiers and executives. Just pretend they're people, okay? Or let's look over here. Just pretend these are people. Now, say your builder up here isn't really doing the business. And then you have a builder right here who is doing the business. You are allowed to rank advance off of one person in the entire leg, okay? So say you're trying to hit platinum. Say this person's still an elite. Now, maybe they have a lot of volume underneath them because someone underneath them is almost silver, right? But they're only elite. Why? Because they don't have a second leg. To hit Premier, you have to have a second leg. So maybe you put a builder underneath them and this builder went for it and they're silver. And then over here is just random volume. This person never got their own leg. They will always stay elite, right? So you're thinking, oh crap, I can't rank advance. Yes, you can. You can rank advance off of one person in that entire leg. So if someone down here is silver, that can be your qualifying silver that you need to hit platinum. Say if you had a silver that was your enrollee 12 levels down, 12 levels down, you could still rank advance off of that person if you're the person who enrolled them, even if they're 12 levels down, if you kept the enrollership. And that could be your qualifying silver, because life happens. What if this person you thought would be silver, then this person was silver and you were platinum at one point because she was silver, but then life happened and she didn't do it anymore and she always hit Premier. Well, what if someone down here hit silver? You could still have that person as your qualifier for that leg, okay? Now, what if you said this? I have a silver here and I have a silver here. That counts as 2 silvers for me. No, it doesn't. You only get one person per leg that you're qualifying off of. They qualify the highest person. So if you have 2 silvers in one leg, well, that's really only 1 silver leg. To get another silver leg, you got to have a whole nother leg and have a silver somewhere in it. To get another silver leg, you got to have another leg with another silver somewhere in it. The silver can be anywhere in it. At level 1, at level 20, but you can only rank it down off of 1 silver. Now, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that you can't have other people underneath it that are high ranks. For instance, I had someone, my sister originally did it, and and she got put into a spot originally, like back in the day. Now she's at a different spot on my team, but she got put into a spot, and underneath her, there was already a gold person. That means she had a lot of volume under her, but she was only elite until she got a leg, and then she advanced to premier, right? Because she needed 2 legs to get to premier, but she still had a lot of volume. And then if there was a volume down there, like hypothetically, I'll give this example. It's a good one. The lady above me, Carly, I am at the top of her leg, right? And I'm blue diamond, but underneath me, she's put a lot of other builders, and some of those builders are gold. Some are platinum, some are diamond. Now they're all still enrolled to her. They're not my people. I get paid unilevel off of them though, because they're under me, but they're her people. But does that help her hit blue diamond or diamond? No, it doesn't. Because here I am at the top. They're all underneath me. She only qualifies off of one of us in the entire leg. So that's why when you're strategically placing people, if you have a really qualified people and you think that person's going to be your, home run hit, you do want to keep them on your top line. Because if you put home run person, home run person, home run person, well, then you only could rank advance off of one of them. That's a little bit of a bummer, right? So that's why you do want to, slowly but surely get other legs. But if you move all of your builders at the beginning, you have them all across your front line because you're like, I think they're all going to do it. Well, let me tell you, most of them aren't going to do it. That's just the truth. So at one point, you got to pick one and you got to structure them appropriately, and then maybe one in that leg will go for it. And if they're not at the top, it's a little bit of a bummer because sometimes it messes power of 3 up, but it's not the end of the world. They'll still help you rank advance, right? So we want to build for power of 3, but we want to build for rank advance the most. That's going to pay you a lot more down the road than power of 3, although power of 3 is a nice $1,500 once you get to that level. So when you're placing people, you sort of want to place for a couple different reasons. Anybody have questions so far? Have I lost anybody on any of the enrollership, or how you only can have one person qualifying you on a leg or anything like that? Okay, oh, we have a question. I was so surprised we hadn't had any yet. Okay. So if you give someone sponsorship, but not enrollership of a builder, they can't rank advance. Correct. So sponsorship is literally where they are on your tree. So everybody, you have to place them somewhere on your tree. Unless they're on your top level, then you're both the sponsor and the enroller if they're on your top line. If they're anywhere else on your team, they have a sponsor that's different than you. Their sponsor is whoever they're underneath. So their sponsor would be Sally, but you are still the enroller. So you still could rank advance off of them. You will still be getting that high, fast start off of them, all of that kind of stuff. You are the enroller. So putting that builder under them is really just helping them hold the structure and add OV 100%. So when you move people, you are structuring it for your benefit, for your team. So when you're going for Premier, you want to think, okay, yes, I want to hit Premier, but I want to hit Blue Diamond down the road. So I want to give, hypothetically, that executive of mine, I really want to create at least one leg for her and build under that leg. And I want to keep all of those people under my ownership, right? Because if you create that leg and you put all your people under that leg on level 2, well, say this person doesn't do the business. Who cares? Go with the ghost leg. Put a builder in that ghost leg. You put a lot of volume under that ghost leg, you can go with them. So it's basically giving you a backup plan. Backup plans are amazing. They make you feel in control in your business when sometimes in this business you feel a little out of control. In the sense that the bigger your team grows, you can hit your goals no matter what. I'm a great example of that. I hit, diamond with not very many active legs. I just worked my butt off to hit diamond, right? I did have some, clearly, but not all my legs were active. But I just consistently did activity after activity and built volume after volume after LRP order. But I did do it in a certain system. But then when I changed it up, I went with other builders. So for example, Brittany is someone who is under someone that I used to rank advance off of. So I had someone above her that was originally the person I rank advanced off of. Then she was underneath them. She was actually 2 levels underneath them, right? Then she was the one that really decided to go for the business. So what did I do? I said, I want to work with someone that really is going to do this business themselves, that I don't have to build out their whole business. business, because that doesn't seem financially, well, it was still financially beneficial, but it doesn't seem time freedom beneficial. I'm like babysitting and I'm doing all the work. I want to do it with people that are really doing it. You'll run across that all the time. You are going to be babysitters and you are going to be building teams for other people all the time. But when you build it, try to build it the best way so you still have control over all of those signups. So for example, this is what you don't want to do. Don't do this. So say here's you, and then you have a builder right here. You have a ghost leg. Your builder has a leg. When you sign people up, do not put your person under their leg unless they're really going for it. Put all of your people under your ghost leg. Why? Because if your builder doesn't go for it, you have a backup plan. All of your signups are under here. Does this make sense? If I would have put them under her person, who has enrollership of this person? She does. That's her leg. I do not want to build out her leg if she's not doing it, right? I would rather build out my own leg. And then if I have to, during the time, I will still stay gold because I'm building her out to Premier, but I am building her out to Premier, so eventually this person will take over her gold spot, her Premier spot, so that I do not have to run with this person forever that is not doing the business. But I don't want to go back to square one sometimes, so in this situation, I might build underneath this person. Now, if you do that, just remember, this person's going to be getting paid off a lot of stuff for a while if you build them to Premier. That's a choice you have to be okay with. You might want to say this, screw it, I'm not going to hit gold for a couple months. I'm going to build out a whole new leg with a person that actually wants to do the business. A lot of times, that's the answer. Now you might think, why would anyone want to do this business? This is so hard. This is so infuriating. This is the business, you guys. People suck sometimes and they don't do it, and you just have to get over it. And there's plenty of new people, and the better you get at doing this business and the longer you do it, the more qualified people you get. So if you have people that are going out of your organization and not wanting to do the business with you, that are 2s and 3s on a scale of 1 to 10, that's fine. As long as you're getting 8s and 9s coming in, right? That was from a chat we listened to recently. Now, if you have people that are 8s and 9s going out, we have a problem. But if you have to fluctuate people out of your business that are 2s, 3s, and 4s, that's a blessing. And you should be thankful because you are building a stronger business down the road, right? So for example, if you had a person in this spot, they're not making that much money maybe. They're not barely doing it. Some months they don't hit Premier. Sometimes they only hit Elite. Only when you want to hit Gold do they hit Premier, all that kind of stuff, only because you build them out. You could ask them to get out of their spot, and you could try to pay them. I have paid people. My highest one was $2,000. I paid someone to get out of a spot, okay? Because that was beneficial. I had built that spot to silver, and the person at the top, or I built that spot to silver, but what I did is I had a third leg, and I never signed that leg over to the person at the top because that person never did the business. So I only let her hit Premier, which meant I only hit Gold. But I told myself I will not make her hit silver because this will kill me inside, right? She doesn't do any of it. So what I did was I ate the cost and I split it with the builder that went into that spot. And that person paid $1,000 and I paid $1,000 because I was giving that person that went into the spot a great spot, or at least a good volume. There wasn't any major builders in there, but there was good volume. So she was able to go into a spot and I paid that person $2,000. Now that's just something you can do. That's a high amount. Some people will get out for $300. Some people will get out for $100 in free oils. You can ask people to get out for a lot of things. Don't start off too high. Start off a little bit lower. Sometimes people will just get out if you ask them to and just say, I know you're not doing this business. Totally get it. It's not a fit for everybody, but it really would help me out. I'd really appreciate it. And maybe they'll be like, oh, of course. I don't even care about it. Yada, yada. You know what I mean? Things like that. So you can. And getting people out of spots sometimes is the best thing you could ever do, and it breathes life into your organization. But if you can't do that, do not keep building out this leg over and over again. Why? Because you're going to be doing that the rest of your life. Now at Gold, it might not be seem like that much volume. But what happens when you want to go to Platinum? Instead of having them hit Executive, what do you have to get them to hit every single month? You have to hit them Elite. You got to have them hit another 1,000 in volume. Can you produce another 1,000 in volume just for that leg and then help a whole nother team get up to? That's a lot of volume. Ask yourself that question. Do you want to do that? How about when you get past Platinum, you go to Silver? Well, at Diamond, it's the same. They just need to be Elite there. But how about Blue Diamond? instead of being executive, which they weren't even able to reach by themselves. Now you got to get them to elite. Now you have to get them to premier. So how much more volume is that than the original volume they couldn't even get? They originally couldn't even get to 2,000. Now, every month you have to pour in 3,000 volume plus to get them to premier for you to hit blue diamond. That's miserable. What you should have done is just built another leg by that standpoint. So you need to figure that out, right? And those are decisions you have to make. And sometimes it sets you back a little bit, but just remember, it's a long-term business. So that's fine, right? You just want to keep your eye on the goal of attracting better people to your business than you previously did, and your business will keep growing. To be honest, I had built people to premier in 1 month when I needed to. How did I do that? By working my butt off. And then I was able to buy in too. I didn't come up with $5,000 in a month in volume. I was able to buy in as well. But it can be done at different levels, what you need, right? Miracles can happen. And when you work with someone that wants to do the business with you and they actually do the business, it's a game changer. Instead of you doing it all, they do it. And that's the best part of this business, is finding someone you can partner with, that they have responsibility, they take action for their own business. That is the best part. And I've tasted both sides. I was able to get success. And to be honest, I thought once I hit diamond, I would never try to go above that. I'm like, this is amazing paycheck. Why would I go above diamond? But then when I hit diamond, all of my leaders, or some of my leaders, wanted to go to, above. And I was like, man, the other leaders I'm having to babysit every single month just to hit diamond. This is life draining. And that's when I decided to redo 2 entire teams, right? Restructure 2 entire teams. Did it take me longer to hit blue diamond? Absolutely. Was it the best decision I could have ever made? Absolutely. So if you have to restructure your team and start over, think about this. How can I attract new builders that want to do this with me? That is going to be the best thing you could do for your business. That's what we just talked about with recruiting last week, right? And getting new people. That's going to be your number one thing. Because if you can help them get new builders, you could easily build someone to executive in a month. Easily. You could build yourself to premier in 1 month easily if you get other people to partner with you. Now, if you don't, that's a lot to do yourself, right? Can it be done? Yes. But you might kill yourself. But if you get partners, it absolutely can be done because you're sharing the load. That's what this business is about, is getting partners. So, at the beginning, sometimes you don't, but maybe you need to up level your recruiting. You're talking with other people about the business. Those are some things that you need to work on, rather than, I need to, go take pretty Instagram photos better. I don't know. You need to focus on what you need to really up to level your business with. And a lot of times it's getting out of your comfort zone and finding other people that want to partner and do the business with you. So those are some of my main things. It is 9 o'clock. That was really quick. I yapped for a long time. We did go through, and you guys had barely any questions. Okay. So I didn't really show my back office. Does anybody have any questions? I don't think, because I think this is pretty long. I'm going to go into, I'll go for a hot second over here for a quick second, but this boggled my brain when I first got to Doterra. I was like, what is this stupid purple chart? It hurts my brain to look at. But I'm going to go over it a little bit, I guess, even though sometimes even when I try to explain it to people, it does sort of hurt the brain. But I'm just going to go over it so you can sort of get an idea. Okay, so when someone places an order underneath you, you get paid off of 7 levels, right? But to get paid, they have to be doing a qualifying order. What does that mean? They have to have ordering on the LRP at least 100 PV. Now, this first level, they only have to be doing 50 PV, but all the other levels, you have to be paid. You have to at least have an order of $100 PV saved in your cart and processed that month. If you don't have it saved in your cart, they won't pay you. So make sure you always have 100 saved in your cart. But on this, you can sort of see how the structure, you get paid the most on the 7th level. And so when you get silver, here's silver, I told you, you finally get paid on all 7 levels. Now, you can actually get paid on a lot more than 7 levels by this. And I think this is fine showing this. So let me go over here. So I'm going to give you an example real quick. So So one of my builders, Cheryl, is really deep down on my team. I think she's on level 5. So when I go down there, so I have 1 level, 2 level, 3 level, 4 level. She's still not there. Click my arrow down. Let's see. I think that was the one. So that was 5. So then there she is, Cheryl, right? So she's 5 levels down, okay? Now, when she has people down here place an order, right? And I place people down here, let's see how I get paid off some of these people. So this person down here does an order. Say they do 100 PV order. The computer goes like this. Okay, I'm going to go to the first qualified person. This person has a circle around them. That means they did the 100 LRP. This person gets 2%. If we go back and look at our chart, so we'll keep up with our chart. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to move this one over here real quick. Okay, so if we look at our chart, what does the computer do? It says, first I'm going to look to pay 2%. Now, what does someone have to do to get 2%? Literally, they only have to do a 50 PV order on the LRP. Nothing, right? They could just be a wellness advocate. It doesn't even have anything. They don't even have to have an OV of anything. It's crazy, right? So they could get paid 2% on that level. Then the computer goes, okay, I'm going to go to the next level. And then the next level up is this person. I'm going to pay them the next level. The next level is 3%. That's level 2. See, here's my levels. Level 1, then level 2 gets 3%. Then level 3 gets 5%. There's no 4%. Then level 3, which is Cheryl, gets off of a person right here. She gets 5%. Okay, now all of these people did their orders, right? Then we go over here and we go to level 4. Let's go to level 4. Level 4, the person still can only be executive, and that's fine, okay? You can get paid executive and elite on the level 5, okay, 5%. So here's 5%. This person gets paid 5%. Even though this person doesn't do the business at all, she gets paid 5% off of all of these people's orders down here, most of them. That's a pretty penny. She was going to do the business. She decided not to do the business. She gets paid probably $300 to $500 a month for doing nothing, okay? Because she has a lot of people underneath her because Cheryl decided to do the business, okay? Now, this person, Cheryl, used to be enrolled to her. Guess what I did? I'm the first person who went and taught a class for Cheryl. Why? I could have said, oh man, Cheryl's not even enrolled to me. I'm going to go over and teach a class for Cheryl. I won't get any fast start. Why would I do that and waste my Saturday? But what did I do? You know what? Cheryl needs a class to be taught. The people above her aren't doing the business. I'm going to go teach a class for her. I went and I taught a class. It was a great class. A lot of people signed up. Did I get anything from it? None. I didn't get a penny from it. Right? Some of you might think, why'd you even do that? I wouldn't have gone to teach a class on Saturday. So Cheryl wanted to do the business. And so I was like, okay, well, it's a little crappy because I don't have an enrollership of Cheryl and she's really far down my team. I want to support Cheryl. She really wants to go for it. But for me to really support her, I would need an enrollership of Cheryl because I'm not going to put a lot of people down on level 5, below level 5 of my own people that I sign up unless I have an enrollership of Cheryl. So what did I do? I asked this person over here, can I have an enrollership of Cheryl? She knew me, and I said, I know you aren't doing the business. It's not a fit for you right now at this time. Cheryl's doing it, so I have to teach a lot of classes for her. Do you mind if I have an enrollership of Cheryl? She gave me an enrollership of Cheryl. It was super simple. Now, of course, if she would have kept Cheryl, maybe Cheryl would have gone on even without my help and been great, right? And then she would have gotten a lot of money from it and been able to rank advance. Now, could she have ever gone past elite? No. Why? Because she only has 1 leg. She does not have 2 legs. So unless she ever would, even if Cheryl was her person, she would have never gone beyond elite unless she built a 2nd leg. That sort of safeguards people from not getting the most amount of pay underneath of people under doTERRA if they accidentally get an amazing build under them that they did nothing for, right? They can only hit elite unless there's a 2nd leg that's enrolled to them, right? Because that's how you hit premier. So let's go back. So here's an elite person. Now 3 levels up, we won't go because you can't see it on this, but 3 levels up, all those people are elite, elite, elite. So do any of them get paid on the 6th level? No. When the computer looks to pay someone on the 6th level, they skip all of those people and they don't pay that level to them because none of them are premier. So you can see they skipped level 6, they skipped level 7 and level 8 of people. And then it gets back up to me and I get paid the high percent of those people that are down there. Does that make sense how the computer goes? So the computer's looking, who's the next person up there who I should pay the 6% to? If there's no premier people between this person and me, and there's a lot of people in between us, you just can't see them. If there's no premier person, then that no one gets paid. Or if there is a premier person, that person gets paid, and who still gets paid? The silver level. I get paid the silver level because I'm the next silver or above in that line. Does that make sense to you guys? The computer always goes from whatever that spot is. So if the person was right here, would this person get paid on the order that this person did? No, this person does not have an LRP. So that the computer skips this row. So that's why you get paid on a true 7 levels. So really you could get paid on 20 levels down because a lot of these levels were skipping, right? This level gets skipped right here. No one's getting paid. Now this level they pay, this level they pay, this level they pay, because all of those people are doing the LRP, right? But once they get to elite, and then it's looking for the premier, then that computer is going to start skipping people again because there's no premier until it finds a premier, and then they pay the premier person, and then they skip it again until they find the next silver person, and then they pay the silver person. So in a sense, I can get still paid on people that are way down here because look at Cheryl's team. She was on my 6th level or 5th level. She still has people, then there's still levels down here, right? So I still get paid on those levels even though they're way past my 7th level because it pays you on a true 7 levels. And that's why you still want to help everybody no matter what level they're on, right? In your business, what your business grows. You never know who's going to do the business. If I wouldn't have helped Cheryl go and do a class for her, you know, maybe she would have never done the business, right? Because she would have been like, I have no support system. I have no help. Or maybe she would have done it. You never know, right? But I wouldn't have been able to rank advance off of her because I would have never asked for enrollership of her. So does that make sense? It's important to have enrollership. Now, if I have enrollership, I can rank advance off of Cheryl, and I was able to hit blue diamond. If I didn't have it, I would still get paid the unilevel no matter what. This is unilevel. It doesn't matter. But for me to rank advance, I needed to have enrollership of Cheryl. So that's why I knew I should ask at the very beginning when Cheryl first started. Even though she wasn't making that much money, I knew to ask right away because guess what? If I would have helped build Cheryl's team out and she would have started making a lot of money, this person would not have given me enrollership of Cheryl if she would have been making a lot of money. She'd have been like, oh, why do I want to give enrollership of Cheryl? She's signing up a lot of people and I'm getting fast start from it. So if you're going to ask for changes, ask in the beginning before a lot of money is, is done. Because otherwise, when people see money, they do not change over things. I've tried, believe me. So yeah, okay. Let's see if someone had a question. I think. Are you going to have a recording of this? Yes. I know it's a lot of information. Totally. Okay, any other questions? But does that make sense on the purple scale a little bit more on how it pays different levels, how you can get paid more than 20 levels, things like that? How once you get to Premier, you'll see an increase in your unilevel because you'll be getting paid on more levels than you were at Elite. When you hit Premier, you also get your first empowerment bonus. So when you hit Premier, you also get, it's like around $150 to $100, $90 a month. It's called a empowerment bonus. When you hit Silver, you get paid an empowerment bonus, just like Premier, and then you get paid a share, which is normally about $150. So that's just a bonus on top of everything, your fast start, your unilevel, all of those kind of things. Then when you get to Gold, instead of 1 share, you get 5 shares. So 5 times 150 is $650, right? And then, or $650. No, 700 is one of those. Sorry, I'm doing off the top of my head. But you get 5 times 150. No, 750. Yeah, 750. Okay. When you go to Platinum, you don't get 5 shares, you get 10 shares. Now we're looking at $1,500. So you can see how with each rank it really grows. So you do want to rank advance as well as grow your Power of 3 bonus. So depending on structure-wise, you might want to go over how you want to structure your team so that you have the optimal chance of hitting your rank and getting your $1,500 bonus. But sometimes you have to look at each person's team specifically, and then you can give advice on that. But yeah, hopefully this understood a little bit about placements, why you really, if at all, want to house your own enrollments underneath a ghost leg or somebody that you have control over, especially if the person above is not active and you can't count on them. Definitely do that. How you do not want to leave everybody on your front line or even everyone on your second level all the way across. It would be amazing if you could at least group them together in a couple legs. You don't have to get 2 legs, just start with 1 and then go from there. So is there any other questions before we jump off tonight? No? Man, you guys didn't have a lot of questions tonight. Okay, well, hopefully that means I answered a lot of them. If you guys do think of any, definitely this is something you can reach up to your gold upliner above and they can pull up your exact team and then go through it with you. But otherwise, make sure and get your trackers in, and then I'm going to announce the first prize winner who wins the cash, and then the second prize and the third prize who wins the free oils, and then a couple other things. I would highly recommend making sure that you get an email out or a text message, copy and pasted or whatever with all of the holiday promos. November 1st, things sell out right away. So I would send it the day before on October 31st and let everyone know, just to let you know, Doterra has all of their holiday stuff. You could even send it out on the 30th, right? Which would maybe be tomorrow. And then, or on Tuesday, and then say, would you want a reminder Tuesday morning or on Thursday morning? Let me know. Doterra gets a little crazy. If you're really wanting certain items, you might want to order early that morning. Just be careful because it's going to be a little crazy. Sometimes their site goes down. It's just crazy Doterra holiday people. But this is a great way to start off November with a bang with getting all of your holiday orders in. Christina also put together those great little charts with the holiday, like, items that are under, that are under certain budgets. But there's a whole ebook that you can literally copy and paste that have all of the new products. You could go on live, do it before November 1st, then do it again on November 1st, and share all those products so people can get into them and excited and let them know they will sell out, guaranteed. Some of them will sell out the first day probably. They always do, unless they got a lot more stock this year. But let people know, and then also let people know about the Dream Kit. They can still get the Dream Kit. The Yarrow Palm will not be available till December 1st, and that only will be available in a 30 ml with the dropper bottle top for $95. So if they want to get the entire kit for $230, it's an amazing deal to get Yarrow Palm in it. So make sure and let people know that, and let them know that the diffuser and the 3 free citrus oils is only till the 31st. I know everyone might be thinking, oh, it's not the end. It's the end of the month. I haven't hit my rank. I hit platinum for the first time on Halloween. I signed up, I think, 8 people in a day while I was trick-or-treating. I'm not saying it was the best Halloween of my life, but I did hit platinum that day. So I'm just saying, if you guys have not hit your rank yet, I did not say, oh, it's Halloween, no one's going to buy a kit on Halloween. I hit platinum on Halloween night. So go and sell some more kits. Go and educate and help people. I'm so excited to see more rank advancements. Super exciting to see Lindsay had Melissa, her first silver. So that was awesome, which meant she had 3 elites under her. So you can see how this all builds on team structure. So yeah, super awesome. I think those were the only announcements. Was there one other one? Oh, so Sunday calls are going to still happen. I thought, since a lot of you guys are liking them, and I traded a lot of calls with other builder teams, so other Blue Diamonds and Presidential Diamonds. I have 2 Presidential Diamond calls already booked for this month. They're at our regular time, so I will post them, but just if you want to keep this date on your calendar, I will be having on the 4th with an Australian Blue Diamond leader. It's going to be at 8 o'clock. Yeah, same time, 8 o'clock. So our regular time next week. On the 11th, I will be gone in the mountains. There will be no call. Just putting it out there. Then on the 18th, we have another one. This time it will be at 7 o'clock because the lady's on a completely different time schedule, and that would be like 10 o'clock her time. So 7 o'clock. And then I'm going to be booking one, I think, on the 25th as well. So all of this month, except for the 11th, we should be able to keep these calls going. I'm excited for you guys to learn from other people, not just me or our leaders on our team. So hopefully you guys will all be on those calls as well. And yeah, have a great rest of your night. It was really great doing the 6-week challenge with you guys. I'm excited. There's still a couple days left, so I'm not saying it's over yet. If you guys need any help with anything, let me know. Otherwise, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.